crazy time since the Google AI overviews was announced. And today, what we're going to talk about is whether it's actually destroyed SEO, whether you can still rank anymore, who are going to be some of the biggest winners, who are going to be some of the biggest losers, and what we're seeing so far in terms of how to optimize your site to make sure that you actually can still rank and get traffic. And it's absolutely crazy. So, obviously, Google announced the AI overviews recently this week. And I was scrolling through Twitter trying to see if there was one positive reaction to it. It's pretty crazy. If you look at some of the negativity around it, for example, you can see that actually a lot of people are installing different plugins to hide AI overviews. You can see that many people want to switch it off right here. If we just keep scrolling down, you can see that actually a lot of people are not enjoying it at all. You can see that a lot of publishers as well are afraid about it. So what does this mean for you so far? So let's have a look at Google and Google AI overviews. So for example, if you say to Google right now, for example, I don't know, something like very, very in-depth and complicated, like for example, best gold chain will break down a price, carat, and golden length, right? Normally, if you typed that into Google, you wouldn't get much information. But what you can see with AI overview is actually it gives you a pretty decent result, right? And what you can see, for example, if you type in something quite complicated, like find the best yoga or Pilates studio in Boston, rated over 4.1 stars within a half-hour walk of Beacon Hill, it actually generates a half-decent result. But the problem that most people have, if you check out the Google search community right here and you can see where people posted, is that some of the information coming out of there is a little bit hit and miss, to say the least. So, for example, you can see some of the feedback on AI overviews right here. Here as well. This is another one. Here's a bunch more. It's so brutal, some of the feedback that's coming back. And a lot of people are not happy with it. That's the thing, really. It's like, is the quality of results improving or getting worse? Now, I'm sure the AI overviews are going to improve in this kind of like a beta feature, but you can see that there are a lot of complaints right now about it rolling out. Now, one of the biggest issues that a lot of people have with this, particularly website owners and publishers, is, as you can see by this tweet from Rand Fishkin, people are worried that this is going to remove click. Now, I talked in depth about this quite a few months ago when I was talking about how to rank with Search Generative Experience and how potentially it could reduce a lot of clicks. Because, for example, if you type in a search term like this and you look at what actually pops up on the search results, you can see that most of the information is kind of like included as a almost mini blog post directly inside the AI overview, which means that there's no need to actually click through to the website. But if you take a look at this article from Search Engine Land right here, you'll see that AI overview link cards, according to Google, so you can see a quote from the Senior Director of Product, Search Generative Experience, that link cards within AI overviews generate a higher click-through rate than traditional search results. Now, I'm going to come on to the winners and losers in a section and what I expect, plus how to optimize your website for this. But what's quite interesting about this is that Google is not planning to break down impressions and click data for the AI overview inside Google Search Console. So that is very interesting because, for example, right, let's say you're trying to rank within AI overviews, you can't really check whether that's working. The other thing is, if you go onto Keyword Explorer, say on your favorite SEO tool, it's not going to give you the data of AI overviews. It's only going to give you the SERP data, right? And there's kind of two different forms of ranking now, which means that a lot of these SEO tools might not be as useful as they previously were because they can't track the search data. Google Search Console can't track the search data. And it's all a little bit messy. If you want to track search data, basically, what you're going to do is stick your finger in the air and then just close your eyes and see which way the wind blows. That's essentially how it goes. But like I say, according to Google, the link cards generate a higher click-through rate. Google's not going to break down the impressions and click data inside Search Console. And what you can actually do is prevent your content from appearing in AI overviews, right? So let's say you don't want to be featured inside there. You can insert a no snippet meta tag into your website that avoids you showing up inside AI overviews, which means that your data from or your content from your website is not going to be scraped and then used as an AI overview. But the problem with that is like you're going to be excluded from search. It's basically like no indexing your content from AI overviews, which means if you don't do it, your competitors are, and therefore you're only going to miss out, in my opinion. But it's crazy to see so far how AI overviews has been implemented. The reaction so far has been quite on Twitter. on Twitter and Google search community. I actually don't think that Google wanted to do this, but the hand was kind of forced, right? Because they were kind of dragged into the party. If you look at ChatGPT and the latest updates that they're releasing, the way they're working with Reddit, for example, as well, the partnerships that are going on, the way that GPT-4o is going to get released for free to everyone, it's only a matter of time before people start using that as a search engine instead. And so I think they were kind of forced into it. We've talked about how you can't actually check your analytics. You kind of just got to trust them. There's a higher click-through rate from AI overviews. And so in a minute, we'll talk about who's going to get hit. But for now, let's talk about the winners, right? So first of all, who are the winners? I think if you look at AI overviews, it's basically winner takes all. And what I mean by that is if you're not in the top 3 up there, you're probably not going to get any traffic. And so I think maybe there's going to be more clicks, but all the clicks are going to go to that first particular ranking page. Because most people are not going to scroll all the way down to the organic. I think that's gone for most queries. And then additionally, I don't think most people are going to swipe to the side, particularly on mobile. Just doesn't seem that easy to do so when you look at this. I mean, I can only estimate, but from my first impressions, I would say potentially, yes, there might be a higher click-through rate, but mainly to the number 1 ranking page, which means that it's a winner-takes-all situation. It's not like where you can just rank 8th or 9th on the page and still get traffic for that keyword. Additionally, I think YouTube is going to be shown more and more directly inside Search Generative Experience. Inside the SEO Elite Circle, I actually have a 6-week roadmap based on what helped me grow to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. But essentially, if you look at every single update, YouTube gets more and more traffic. Now, the cool thing about YouTube is if you get traffic from there, you're diversified from SEO. Number 2, you're going to get more traffic from the search engine within YouTube. But then additionally, you're going to get more traffic. So for example, if you look at this Google Search Generative Experience e-commerce study, what you can see right here is that 71% of the SGE results analyzed contained a YouTube video, which is pretty amazing when you think about that, because that is a massive jump. And every single update, helpful content update, core update, etc., you see YouTube take a big jump. Additionally, big brands, when I've tested out in other videos, I tend to find that big brands work really well. The other thing that I think, right, is that personal brands are going to work really well. Because a lot of people, they don't want to hear from AI. They want to hear from a person that they follow specifically. You see it the same on YouTube, right? So for example, if you go on YouTube, you type in Julian Goldie and you'll see all these relevant keywords that pop up related to content that I create that people are actually searching for, right? This is based on people's search history, which means that if you're a personal brand, people will look for you specifically rather than the AI overview. And therefore you can still get a lot of search traffic, as you can see right here. Now, coming back to that big brands example, when I've been checking who's ranking number 1, usually it's like DR50 minimum, domain rating 50 minimum. Now, that could change. I still think it's early days. That gives you an idea that backlinks are still some of the most important ranking features when it comes to ranking on Google. And finally, black hats, right? So for example, if you look at the way that Google has gone this year, and I'm not saying this is a good, but I've noticed it, right, is that black hat websites seem to be doing really well, while small publishers, independent travel bloggers, people actually buying reviews and buying the products, etc., are getting hit, right? And you can see, for example, with Black Hat World, for example, their traffic after the helpful content update and also the March the 5th update have taken a huge increase in traffic, right? 330k traffic right there. And this is literally a website teaching how to do black hat SEO. On the other end of the spectrum, right, if you look at a website that is a genuine product reviews website backed by real tests, you can see that HouseFresh have taken a massive hit in traffic, right? So smaller independent publishers trying to do the right things are the ones getting hit the most. And this is not the first example. I'm not going to show anyone's website up here, but this is not the first time I've seen this. Many, many people have been hit by this. Basically, they get hit by the HCU, and then they drop down in traffic, and then the core updates seem to have an even bigger impact. Now, it's interesting to see that Google Search Liaison actually touched on this earlier this week, as you can see, and they basically said that for sites like this that receive an algorithmic penalty, there's actually no way to manually lift it, right? If it's the algorithm, you can't change that. And so if you look at it from Google's perspective, if they wanted to fix this, they have to keep tweaking the algorithm and releasing new updates until it's fixed. But at the same time, if they make many more tweaks, then that could hurt more sites. If it hurts more sites, then the results get worse, right? And so there's so many second order consequences to algorithm updates that it's pretty crazy to see that. But because of that situation, this is what I've seen. These are the winners that I've seen so far, and these are the winners that I expect to see continue. Now, if we actually look at the losers, I think number one, you're going to see SEO tools become less useful, particularly in the short term, because if you've got two sets of SERPs, basically search generative experience at the top, and then you've also got the organic listings underneath, what ranks at the top in SGE and AI overviews is not what ranks necessarily within organic. Additionally, low DR sites and people not building backlinks, I think they're going to really struggle now, because if it's a winner takes all situation, and typically the winner at the top of AI overviews, from what I've seen so far, tends to be a very high authoritative site and a high DR site, then low DR sites just can't compete from what I've seen. Additionally, I think that programmatic sites, right? So for example, general sort of conversion questions like how many millimeters in an inch or how many millimeters in a centimeter, etc. These sort of keywords are just going to get wiped out straight off the bat with AI overviews, because it can analyze that sort of data and give you the answer straight off and straight away. Kind of like feature snippets, but I would say even more so. So just to recap, we've talked about the AI overviews and the feedback so far, why I think Google did this so far, how to check the data and how you actually can't, the winners so far, who's going to get hit, and if you want to combat it, I would say focus on personal branding, build more backlinks to your website, make sure you're using YouTube if you have the time and the resources, and if you've got no chance of being in the top 3 for that keyword, at this point, it might be too difficult. Now, the other thing that I would say when it comes to the losers and keywords to avoid, informational keywords, total waste of time now. Why is that? It's simply because AI overviews can answer that. And the answers generated right now might not be great, but obviously that's going to improve in the future, which means that just going for informational keywords, I've been saying it for months, but going for these sort of keywords, total waste of time. Now, I've actually built out a game plan based on ranking within Search Generative Experience. You can check out the free video inside my free SEO course, links inside the comments and description, but it basically shows you some of the best strategies and tactics to rank based on the data. I actually walk you through that in the video, so make sure you check that out. That is inside the free course, and that's basically AI over. Like I say, SEO is far from dead. People are still going to get loads of traffic, and the people who really adapt right now are going to get better results than ever before. Now, I would just personally avoid getting wrapped in the negativity that's happened before. Look at the facts as they are, and then focus on, right, how can I be within this group, not within this group, right? And it's quite obvious at this point that if you don't want to get hit, make sure you're building backlinks, avoid programmatic niches. Personally, I would do that. Informational keywords, total waste of time, and also be careful if you're using SEO tools, because right now they might not be that accurate. So that is the game plan to rank with AI overviews based on what I've seen so far. Now, I would highly recommend looking at traffic diversification strategies as well. So if you actually check out my SEO Elite Circle, links inside the comments and description, you will see a traffic diversification mastery section directly inside there that shows proof with screenshots and everything else how I'm getting traffic from 11 different sources. Additionally, it comes with loads of courses, like you can see, coaching twice a week, and a community. Pretty amazing. And loads of other stuff. There's even a leaderboard where you unlock loads of different gifts at each level. Now, if you do want to get a free SEO strategy session about how to get more leads, traffic, and sales to your website, feel free to book that in, and we can basically look at your site, give you some actionable tips, and show you exactly what you need to do to get more SEO traffic. And the final thing I would say is, if you haven't joined the SEO boardroom, make sure you do. It actually comes with an experiments lab, and we'll be looking at loads of different ways to get more traffic, to rank, how to adapt. You'll probably see from some of my recent YouTube community posts that there's a lot of people winning right now if you follow the right actions. So, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.